Once upon a time, or perhaps I should say once upon some time, where time is relative to one's position in space and to the speed at which one is traveling through space, which is to say that time could mean any point in an infinite number of universes that exist simultaneously. So the very idea of there being a time becomes just silly. Right. Down to business. Once upon some time, there was a kingdom, and in that kingdom lived a princess named Rapunzel.
Hi.
And the prince who loved her.
Hello.
Now, Rapunzel had a talent, a sort of princess superpower.
Oh, I wouldn't really call it that.
Well, you're not the narrator, are you?
No. Please continue.
A sort of princess superpower. And the one thing one must know about princess superpowers is that generally the more useless the talent, the more beautiful the princess. And Rapunzel
has the most useless talent in the known universe.
What? I adore your talent.
Seriously? Hair growth. That impresses you?
Your tresses make me tremble. Your hirsuteness makes me horny.
Rapunzel's most useless talent for controlling the growth of her hair meant that she was the most beautiful princess in the land, which would not have been a problem, except that she was also
smart.
Scary smart.
Supernumerically smart.
Touché.
Hey, did you know that the definition of Googleplex is 10 to the Google power, where one Google is greater than the number of elementary particles in the known universe?
Huh?
In fact, Rapunzel's love of math was directly proportional to how much she did not love the prince.
Which is not at all.
And Rapunzel's complete disinterest in the prince was directly proportional to his absolute fascination with her.
My love, I shall make you my queen.
And so, in an effort to delay her nuptials as long as possible, Rapunzel built a tower and concocted a story about an evil stepmother.
She's just so evil.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Evil. Got it.
Okay. Good. Gotta go.
And she locked herself away in the tower.
I shall rescue you, my love!
And began to formulate a plan, or, as it were, an equation.
Okay, if I take the circumference of the tower divided by the prince's metabolic rate, factored by average wind speeds, caloric intake, height, weight, lean muscle mass, accounting for his princely genetics.
From which she arrived at a number.
The number. The number which describes the constant rate at which my hair must grow for the climbing prince to never reach the top of the tower.
Genius, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your... Oh.
And the prince climbed.
I'm on my way, my lovely.
And climbed.
Won't be long now.
And climbed some more.
Nearly there, my love.
Except that he wasn't. Because as he climbed, Rapunzel grew her hair.
I hardly even notice it. It's like tapping my finger or chewing. Who thinks about chewing?
And so her mind was free to ponder the great questions of the universe, to linger over the vast trajectories of stars across the heavens and the elegant swirl of the water in her morning cup of tea. She began to see numbers everywhere.
In the slanting shafts of sunlight in the window, in the angle of a hawk's wing as it dips from the sky.
And so time passed, and Rapunzel studied.
So every number is either a composite or a prime, right? And primes are only divisible by one and by themselves, and they go on forever. But we only know about a certain number of them, even though we also know that the next one is just out there, just waiting to be discovered.
You don't say!
The prince still hadn't noticed he wasn't getting anywhere, which really wasn't so surprising.
The same algorithm that describes the curving spiral of a ram's horn also describes the whirl of a nautilus shell. 1.618, the golden ratio. The same math naturally occurring all over creation. Isn't that gorgeous?
Your face is gorgeous.
I did some calculating, and it's also the same ratio that describes the spiral of the stairs right here in my tower.
But I thought there were no stairs in the tower.
Oh, I mean, before my evil stepmother burned them down?
Of course! Blast her in her evil ways.
Yes.
And so it went. Rapunzel began to do math that no one had done before, equations that described
the crawl of sunlight across a cobblestone floor, the rate at which smoke rings expand outward after release from the lips.
And the mathematicians of the kingdom took notice of her proofs. Prim, pretty,
Princessy proofs.
but the mathematicians harumphed.
Harumph!
And they called her proofs and theorems,
Beautiful!
but,
Useless!
which made Rapunzel love her work all the more.
Because if anyone is equipped to understand beauty and uselessness, it's a princess.
And the more she loved them, the harder she worked. And the harder she worked, the more she came to feel that she was on the edge of something, teetering on the precipice of discovery.
It's space.
What?
Space is voids, emptiness. I can't figure out how to factor them in.
To understand this problem, you also must know that in Rapunzel's kingdom, as in many kingdoms across universes, there was no true concept of nothingness. No idea of nothing as a thing unto itself. Spaces in the counting system were only placeholders.
Like a period at the end of a sentence. Letters stand for sounds that make up words that denote an idea, but a period is just punctuation. If everything stands for something else, how do we account for the empty?
Why would you need to? It's empty, right? What is there to account for?
How would we identify rhythms without the silences in between beats? How would we know the stars without the vast emptiness in between pinpoints of light?
So Rapunzel pondered and paced. She thought harder than she had ever thought before, so hard that for a few whole minutes, she completely forgot to grow her hair.
Uh-oh.
And before she knew it,